Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Alright Seipher, we're ready.
Alright. One hit. Can you be a badass, Eirika, and dodge this? No. This will finish you. Ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha! Leon. Be careful, Eirika. It's alright. He's Leon. Leon. Eirika. Is that you? Yes, Leon. It's me. Eirika. You stopped me, didn't you? I'm glad. Leon. Leon. Listen, Eirika. I never had the courage to tell you, but I've always loved you. Leon. What? This? Brother, Leon's body. It's... Time has come. My resurrection is at hand. Now, humans, lament your fate. Weep for the dead. Despair for the living. Wail and tremble in grief. Grovel in awe and fear. I am returned. Is that the Demon King? Eirika. Brother, don't be afraid, Eirika. I'm here. Our friends are here. We have the Sacred Stone, and we have each other. We will not lose. We will defeat him. You're right, brother. Larchel, it's time. We have to use the final Sacred Stone. We must use its power against the Demon King, as in the stories of old. You must listen to me, Eirika. The stories are true. The stone does hold the power to stop the Demon King. However, the source of its power is human will, the desire for peace within our hearts. In our hearts? Yes, that's right. We need to not pray for the Sacred Stones to aid us now. No. We need only focus ourselves and concentrate on a better future. I understand, Larchel. Listen, everyone. I can never repay you for all you've done so far. Now please, one last time, lend me your strength. To defeat the Demon King, to restore peace to our lands. To take the peace we all dream of and make it real. Is everyone ready? We're going to win. Bah, I'm in no way inferior to this so-called Demon King. There's nothing to fear. I'll protect everyone. Prince Leon. Defeat the foe. Nothing else matters. So, what's Lady Luck have in store for me today? I'll show you all what my magic can do. Watch with pride, Father. I'll show you who's the strongest. That's the king of all demons? What a ferocious sight he is. Oh, that's the Demon King, isn't it? Yes, I've read all about him. I, Larchel, strike in the name of the righteousness, order, and Rouston. Let's finish this. Grr. Abominable sacred stone. I will not suffer imprisonment again. How? You possess only one. Do not fool yourselves. You cannot fully imprison me. I will grind that wretched rock and your accursed bones to powder. There. We did it. The Demon King's soul has been bound once more. But Eirika, it's not over yet. The Demon King's soul rages against its prison. We must return it to its proper place, and quickly. But first, we must defeat the Demon King's soulless body. That thing? Uh-huh. The real battle's just beginning. Our ancestors paid dearly for their victory. A mountain of corpses. It's written the Demon King was surrounded by the dead before he finally fell. We're all prepared to do what must be done. I have no desire to make any more heartbreaking sacrifices. I promised would all return safely, and return safely we shall. Alright, hey everybody, it's Seipher here, and welcome to the final episode of Seipher Plays Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. In the last episode, we made our way to the heart of the Black Temple and tried to stop Leon from completing the Demon King's resurrection ritual. However, it would seem that we ultimately failed. The Demon King Fomortiis, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, has risen. He is a frightful beast to look at, and I honestly am not sure if we can manage to defeat him, but okay, you know what, I'm not going to be around the bush. We have the means to defeat him. Now then, I'm going to suggest that we don't actually do anything for this turn. We're just going to keep directly out of his line of fire. At least I don't think... Okay, he can move, so... He has 3 range... I think we'll be fine. We'll just move right in this way. Let's see. We still have animations on. Okay, good. I want them on for this episode from the very beginning. We're just going to arrange our units so that all of our support partners are where they need to be. We're going to have basically everyone ready to go. Let's have Joshua go right here. And just to finish things off, we'll have a loot go there. Now, you want to avoid going near him on the first turn because you can't really get close enough to attack him, and being in his range is a bad idea, considering he has... Well, he's going to spend his first turn summoning a bunch of minions that we'll have to cut down to get to him. But he has this one-use nightmare, which will lull every enemy within a 3-tile radius around him to sleep, which will be very bad to have to deal with. So I recommend just holding off just a little bit. Thankfully, it seems I got rather lucky with his summon this time around. He can summon even Draco zombies, so I am very fortunate that I got this batch. I guess we'll see a few of the monster sprites and battle animations for this. Thankfully I have Ardor, and he managed to get a pretty decent hit off. Okay, with that, let's actually have Loot use Excalibur. Might as well make use of it since this is the final battle. Okay, now let's see about having Enos get our opening shot off on the Demon King with Needhog. Okay, he landed a hit. Despite the question mark for the Demon King's health, it is actually 120. It's just written as question mark because the maximum displayed is 80. Okay, with that, we can actually have Ross move in and attack, but I don't entirely want to. So, how about we have Ewan actually use Gleipnir here? Very heavy, so I don't really use it with him very often, but might as well get one look at it. It's got a pretty cool animation, if I may say. Let's have Tana actually use Vidofnir here. Probably well, yeah, you can probably manage to do pretty well here. So let's have Tana use Vidofnir on the Demon King. Now, hopefully, since I have animations on, I won't activate the Pierce glitch, because that would just be a pain in the butt, because then I'd have to restart Chapter 20 and actually have to defeat Leon again. Sorry, not Chapter 20. The final chapter from the first part again and have to defeat Leon. Thankfully, I don't think I'll have to. And he's down to his last 30 HP. Now, how is Eirika? Sieglinde would be a good way to end this. It's practically a guarantee. Let's just have the rest of our units just do a bit of fighting, just to kind of get everyone in as best we can. Vivaldi's got a pretty good animation. I don't really see it all that often, because I tend to hoard these weapons. Let's have Cormag finish off this white, since he already made use of Adhulma on the other map. At least I think he did, I'm sure. I need to remember exactly. I'm recording this compared to yeah, he did use it. Okay. Well, let's just have... Well, I could have Ephraim go up here and use Siegmund, but I don't particularly want to, so let's... Okay, critical animation from Ephraim just to end off his contribution to this campaign. I suppose we might as well move everybody. Let's have... You know what? I never actually use it, so just for the heck of it, let's try Latona for once. Just so that everybody ends up with maximum HP for this final turn. Just for the heck of it. And now, because I'm pretty sure that, yep, Eirika can never miss it with this, and the Demon King can never crit, so let's end this. Leon, lend me strength. I was hoping for a crit there, but oh well. That's it? It's over, isn't it? Yes, evil has been imprisoned, locked away. The legends of old have been mirrored in our actions today. No, we've done far more than the legends ever told. We destroyed the Demon King's body. He can never come back. That's right, and we have you all to thank for it. And another thing. In the ancient battle, it took the might of 5 heroes to do what we did. We did not have their extraordinary power to draw upon. No, we didn't. We conquered the darkness and restored peace to the land, thanks to you. It was because you never gave in. You never stopped fighting. None of you. Not once. Thank you. This means we've accomplished our mission. I must relay the good news to King Hayden at once. Yes, I'm sure Father will be most pleased. Brother, this means peace will be restored, doesn't it? Shall I fly back to Frelia and let him know? There's no need to rush. I'm sure he knows. After all, we were together, and that ensured our victory. Of course, Prince Enes. Looks like we're on the outside looking in, eh? Even so, the fighting's over, and that's something to be happy about. Exactly. Well, that took some doing, but we finally finished the job. We certainly earned our pay. Please tell me we're going to enjoy it. Let's go home, Chief. Let's see now. Shall we head back to Johanna? I guess we could stop at the guild and get our next contract, eh? But the Queen's gone. I wonder what Johanna will do now. I'm sure it'll all work out. After all's said and done, it's our home. Come on, it's time for Garrick's band to ride. Let's go. Heads. Looks like I should be getting back as well. Homecoming time. It's over, isn't it? The demon that drove Grotto to madness is dead and gone. I can't believe I was part of this whole thing. Okay, Amelia. The war is over, but so much remains to be done. Our country lost this war. The road ahead will be long and hard. That's true, and yet it's a road we must travel. That's the burden survivors must shoulder. Yes, and we must fulfill the dreams of Emperor Vigard and Prince Leon. Dazla, Renak, we've done it. Wahaha! And a job well done it was, Princess Larchel. Whew, it's finally over. So it's about time for me to... Hold it! I gave you no orders to leave. I am the Princess of Rouston, lest you forget. I have many missions yet to fulfill. Come, Dazla, Renak, it's time to go. Wahaha! Wait up! Let's move, Renak. The darkness. It's gone. Yes, that's the end. I guess so. Let's return home, Lady Mir. Our friends and family will be worrying about us. What? Hey, teacher! Where are you going? Wait up! I'm coming with you! You did well, Ross. You're a true warrior, my pride and joy. But you're still the best, Father. That's right. My father's the best warrior in all Magvel. Bah, I'm glad everyone's so happy, but they better not forget that they won only with our help. Right, Naomi? We all worked together. Wasn't that great, Colm? Hey, don't start crying, please. Oh, glorious light, were you witness to our victory? The foul demon has been purged from the earth. The ancient Demon King was as powerful as the scrolls described, and yet, in the end, we were able to defeat him. After all, there's no one better than us. Your continued safety is all that matters to me, Princess Eirika. General, Princess Eirika, we can finally return to Renee, can't we? Yes, we can go home, all of us unharmed. I'm exhausted. I'd like nothing more than to laze about for a while. Alas, we're not going to have that opportunity, are we, Prince Ephraim? No, the reconstruction of Renee is going to keep us busy. Keep your strength up. I'm going to need you in the days ahead. We'll be beside you through it all. Alright, let's go home. Let's go back to the people who are waiting for us. It is time for me to be on my way, my friends. As the Princess of Rouston, I still have many duties to perform. Oh, Princess Eirika, if it pleases you, I would be ever so delighted if you joined my tea club. I insist that you come. Oh, say you will, won't you? I have much to do here in Johanna. I'll start with what can be done and keep going from there. First, I must talk to Mother. She should know that we've won, so that she can rest easily. We of Frelia will do what we can to aid in the restoration of Renee. If you have need of our assistance, you have but to ask. I seldom trust people who act from purely altruistic motives, but I'll grant you that friendships are a worthy exception to my distrust. We finally made it home, haven't we? Ah. You must be exhausted after the journey. Shall we rest, Eirika? That would be nice. But first we must seal this away. This stone banished the Demon King. With such power. Do you suppose we could bring back Father and Leon? That everyone who died in this dreadful war could be... Eirika. I know. Such things would be... I cannot wish for such things. No matter how it hurts, or rather because it hurts, we must learn to accept sorrow. We must take it into our hearts and tame our grief. Eirika. Tell me, sister. If Leon were here with us, what do you think he would want? What he would want? Yes, you see, I think I know. It was the reason for his studies. It's why he wanted to know about the sacred stones. Or rather, the fire emblem. Let's take Leon's dreams and fulfill them in his stead. We can do that, can't we? Without relying on any mystic power? You're right, brother. Can. Let us fulfill his dreams. As Leon wanted, as we all want. So we may live in peace and joy. Alright, and that is the end of the game. Okay, so, thoughts on the project. I will say I did enjoy going through the game again after not touching it in over a decade, honestly. While it isn't my favorite Fire Emblem game, it is a solid addition to the series, and it took a lot of chances. It was actually my second Fire Emblem game after Blazing Blade, or to those of you with me in the States, it was just known as Fire Emblem. And I feel it had some really good ideas between branch promotion options for your units to take, the implementation of a world map that you could go around and visit the places you've been, training units that gave way to various other classes, and generally all of those things made their mark on the series. The story was darker and more complex compared to Blazing Blade, which I'm rather fond of. The story also has some of the best antagonists in the series, from Selena's tale of tragic loyalty, Reeve's utter disdain for being excommunicated, Ilik's greed, to even Leon's path to heck paved by good intentions. I definitely have a greater appreciation for the available characters, since only 1 or 2 out of the 34 playable, gameplay-wise, aren't all that useful. Yet all of them have some really outstanding personalities and interactions. I didn't even show some of the best supports in the game, and I encourage you to either get them yourself on your own playthroughs or look them up online via things like Serenes Forest. If I had to be picky, I'd say the only negative thing I can say is that the game's difficulty is rather low. Granted, I did play on normal mode, but I think that it might have been just as easy on hard. And I feel that's mainly due to monsters making up the endgame opponents, and the general lack of defense compared to others. But if that's the only downside, I can't really complain. Oh? Are you? My name is Leon. Uh-huh, that's me. Son of the Emperor. You're Prince Ephraim and Princess Eirika from Renee, aren't you? I heard you were coming, and I've been waiting here all day. I've always wanted... I don't have any friends my own age. So, Prince Ephraim, Princess Eirika, what do you say? From now on, let's be friends. Well, that's rather tragic, now that I think about it. But, yeah, going back to my thoughts on the project, all in all, I had a blast revisiting this game, And who knows, I may play it again for the channel in the future, mainly due to the fact that Act 3 is rather different depending on the route that you take. I mean, compared to what we saw with Eirika, it's got a bit of a different twist on it that I honestly kind of like. And actually, I'll stop right now. Seth returned to Renee with Ephraim and his fellow knights. His dedicated service made him the most trusted of the new King and Queen's Guardsmen, and well, the most famous knight in all of Renee. Franz the Faithful, he continued to serve Renee with the same devotion that he had during the War of the Stones. Generous nature and easy smile made him a favorite among the people. Obviously, if any characters died, they'll get these things changed to when they died, and it's honestly a loss. Certainly an incentive to keep as many people alive as you can. And another thing is that certain pairings of characters will change depending on if you get them to an A-rank support, so we'll be seeing that as we go through. As this plays out, I suppose I would like to say that if I were to make this game again today, knowing what I know now, I would probably make it so that monsters actually get a lot more difficult and actually make the need, or at least have stronger variants in the final chapters as the Demon King is gathering his forces. I do also kind of wish that you got a bit of information on both routes. That, I mean, granted, I know that there is a house in Chapter 15 that basically serves as a catch-up between, hey, this is what happened on Eirika's route versus this is what happened on Ephraim's route, but I'm talking about something a bit more concrete. I suppose I would also like to say that while I did enjoy Eirika's campaign, it does feel like the more simple of the two from my memory, which is why I do think that I will eventually come back to Ephraim's campaign in the future. Oh, we got a combo. Oh. The childhood friends became lovers first, then husband and wife. Worried for Naomi's well-being, Colm gave up his adventurous ways. Naomi passed on her grandfather's skill in archery to her own son and daughter. Well, that's sweet. And we have another pairing. Arter and Lute were married upon their return. Arter handled the housework, but otherwise, their lives were unchanged. And they had a son. Lute's interest shifted from studying Arter to studying her son's baffling habits. Okay, well, that's kind of to be expected. They were kind of an odd couple pairing. This is the couple that I'm really interested in. When Joshua returned to Johanna, he took Natasha as his bride and claimed the throne as its rightful heir. Natasha was the perfect companion, and together they carried the mighty desert nation to great glory. Well, that's rather nice. I really like their support conversations. I also feel like after Chapter 15, I honestly think that maybe scratch that. After Chapter 16, I don't think we should be fighting any more human enemies from that point on. It feels kind of pointless, and this mainly comes from the fact that we see the remnants in Chapter 17 that destroy the Freljord Knights, so we're expecting, okay, this is the last pocket of resistance from Grotto, and they're very tough despite being exhausted, but then we get into the chapter, and then we have ridiculously low stats, like that Berserker that only had 24 HP and like 7 speed, which was honestly terrible. And this is further supplemented by the fact that Reeve in Chapter 19, when we're defending Mansell and Rouston Court, talks very much like he's talking to the dark creatures of the Demon King that he's commanded in like the Phantom Ship, and when Ephraim reached Port Tyzel. and when he sent us, when his subordinate Novala trapped innocent civilians to be food for a giant spider. And it honestly seems like it should have been a monster chapter that just was turned into remnants of Grotto forces at the last minute. Granted, those Grotto forces were tough, and it probably would have made the chapter too easy, considering I said monsters are very weak, but I'm sure there is some way that you could adjust the stats of monsters to make them more of an actual threat. I mean, even back in Chapter 4, Seth was going on about how monsters were just completely outclassing average men, and yet we put them down without much trouble every time they showed up. Granted, I did train a lot, but even in the first instance of fighting them, it wasn't all that difficult. I also think that maybe I would enable more than one A-rank support. Just, I know that would probably be difficult to encompass, especially with how these character epilogues are dependent on do you have an A-rank support or not. But I feel like it would make things a bit more interesting. Granted, grinding up supports in the tower was easy, but if you don't want to grind up in the tower, it's not likely that you'd even get a single A without either putting in long amounts of time on your on your turn counts for chapters. So maybe it's probably not the best idea. I do kinda wish that maybe there was an option to tweak the effectiveness damage of weapons, because as you saw with the final chapter, I was able to pretty easily manhandle the Demon King with a few of the Sacred Twin weapons, and Eirika even managed to beat both Leon's body and Fomortiis with Sequined, and that was without any crits. Granted, she had help in the latter case, but she managed to do quite a bit of damage on her own. I mean, 27 times 2 on the Demon King, that was practically half his HP right there. In any case, I suppose... yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe I will come back to this game in the future. There is a post-game, but I really don't want to play it because it's really just going back to the map, having access to all the areas, and basically being allowed to go through the Lagdao Ruins and Tower of Volney as many times as you want, and unlocking a few extra characters that we saw in the campaign. So we could recruit the likes of Orson, Selena, Reeve, Kalik, Volter, as well as non-player characters that weren't antagonists, like Fado, Hayden, and Ismir, but I'm not entirely interested. Now that I see that Ephraim's on screen, let's go with this. Ephraim and Larshall each returned home after the war, but Larshall visited Renee often. Over time, the two were wed. Their marriage threw Rouston into turmoil, but Larshall's self-centeredness carried the day. Well, that's... And finally, with Enos and Eirika, after the reconstruction of Renee, Enos challenged Ephraim to a duel. The match ended in a tie. After the fight, Eirika acknowledged her love for Enos, and the two were wed with Ephraim's blessing. Well, that's kind of to be expected, I suppose. Anyway, with that, we have reached the end. As for what comes next, I'll try not to have the break be as long as it was between this and Duelists of the Roses. But at the time of recording this, I'm still trying to decide between game candidates. Regardless, though, I hope you'll tune in when that time comes. With all that said, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.